Just get ready to sit down and do the video. Abigail jumps up here. This is our newest rescue. Abigail, she's a sweetie. Aww. And she loves her daddy. We're going to have an interesting topic today, guys. Are you ready to run and gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. We got a house full of cats. Never a dull moment around here. So choose your lures before you choose your combos. This is another Simplify Your Fishing episode that's, I think, is a very important one. And this just happened to hit me the other day, and I was thinking, this would be a really good topic. You know, a lot of you guys, I've been talking to you. A lot of you guys are actually trying to simplify your fishing. Great. A bit of advice that I've been learning myself is you want to choose, or you want to make sure that you've got all your lures lined up, you know, crankbaits and your spinner baits, your jigs, you know, worms, things like that. You want to make sure that you've got everything lined up. And that takes a while, I know. Get everything lined up of what you want to fish. And if you've got it settled that this is what you want to do, now you choose your combos. Because you're going to need, you know, why would you buy, say, a worm combo? Or why would you buy something for jigs, or maybe something for crankbaits, or something for topwater, or whatever you're going to be throwing? And then when you put all your lures together, you realize, well, I don't have this. Or I didn't choose this. And now you got a rod sitting there doing nothing. Choose your lures. That's the most important thing. You know, me personally, I don't have a whole lot of crankbaits, believe it or not. There's not very many of them. This is a half ounce vintage pre-Rapala Storm Hottentot. One of my favorite, you know, diving crankbaits is a Hottentot. Anything with a metal bill, bombers, hellbenders, you know, doesn't matter. But I do like the Hottentots. And, you know, so I'm not going to need a lot of cranking as far as combos. And, you know, it's basically Hottentots and Picos is basically what I'm kind of getting myself around. That might change, but it's kind of want to get myself around, so why have 3 or 4 different cranking rods? There's no need. The system I'm putting together rod-wise, I have 5 rods in my lineup as far as, you know, the high dollar performance kind of stuff that I'm building. And I have chosen, you know, since I've just about got my lures done, I know, you know, what rods I'm going to need, because like I said, they're about 90% complete. And so I've chosen 1 cranking rod, 1 rod in the medium action casting, 1 rod in the medium heavy in casting, and so that's my 3 casting rods. And they can, you know, the cranking rod can handle top water as well, or even buzz baits. You know, but the medium and the medium heavy, now I'm looking at my worms, jigs, spinner baits, things like that. I have a regular spinning rod that can handle Senkos, worms, things like that, maybe lighter crankbaits if I wanted to. It's in a medium action. And then I have one I'm building for slider fishing. And that's my 5 rods. And my lures are very simple. And like I said, I'm about 90% complete as far as choosing my lures. You know, with different, but I've noticed that my spinnerbait selection is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as I go through it. Doesn't mean I'm going to get rid of my other spinnerbaits. I'll definitely keep those for back burner, for back stock. I mean, if I lose one or whatever, I got another one to back it up. But as far as what I'm actually going to carry, you know, keeping it simple, I told y'all a few weeks ago, you know, as far as a jig, you know, I've decided on 4 colors, but 1 weight. And I've got you know, a bunch of trailers that's the same trailer, but several different colors that I can do for spinnerbaits or jigs. So that keeps it simple too. I only have 1 trailer, just in different colors, from black and blue to white to chartreuse to whatever. And so it covers the bases on on both spinner baits and jigs, and it keeps my selection down. So it's not so hard to sit there and scratch your head and go, "No, what do I throw next?" You don't want to do that. You want to be able to just say, "Okay, well look, this is what I got to use." And especially if you're pre-tying the night before, if you think about it, you're not going to have a whole lot of different lures to change if you keep everything simple. But some of you guys might, stack a big, 8-tray box full of all your stuff and simplifying, or whatever. To you, that's simplified because you're used to having a garage full of lures. I mean, I can understand that. Some of you guys might just decide on a single 3,700 box. I can't argue that one either. I'm looking at a 3-tray, a vintage Plano 3-tray that's not real big, and that I can carry most of my stuff in and not be overpacked, and keeping it very simple, just like with these Storms. This is a 1/2 ounce medium runner, maybe 2 or 3 colors. That's it. I'm not a huge deep cranking kind of person, so I keep my colors very simple. And the Magnum top, I've got some of those that are even bigger than this one, and they get down there pretty good too, at about a 5/8. And I've said before, I'm not a big heavy bait thrower, but this being a 1/2 ounce, I almost hooked myself, didn't I? This being a 1/2 ounce, it's not that bad. The other one's a 5/8, and again, maybe 2 colors, maybe 2 if I even do that. So, keeping it very simple. Now the smaller little 3-inch Hottentots, that's the ones I keep a lot of different colors in because of the different situations I can get in with that. That could be a spinning rod crankbait or a casting rod crankbait, either one. With spinner baits, I'm keeping that down very, very minimum. This is not one of the ones I've chosen for my lineup, but it's definitely one I keep on the back burner. And this is the silicone skirt. I kind of prefer rubber when it comes to a spinner bait, but that's just my choice. Worms, man, that's knocked down to almost nothing now. I mean, literally, it really is. And same thing for top water. One top water, just in a few different colors. But I'll go over, once I get everything done, I will go over this box and I will explain to you why I picked what I did, because I have my strong points, but I also have a lot of weaker points. And some of the weaker points, I tend to kind of push them aside a little bit, that maybe one day I'll go out there and take some of those weaker points with me and fish them and see if they're willing to go in the box or not. But the box is going to be packed to where if I do add anything to it, something's probably going to come out. So you got to keep that in mind too. But don't choose your rods until you get the baits chosen, because you don't want to have 20 rods sitting there and you end up with a 3,700 box. Well, what's the use of 20 rods? See what I'm saying? Or what if you end up saying, you know what, I'm really a big time, I got all these cranking stuff, I love, I like to throw crankbaits or whatever, but dang nabbit, I catch most of my bass off of worms. Maybe I should throw worms. Okay, what happens to the 10 cranking rods you got sitting in the corner? Wait until you get your lures picked and sorted out, so you know what kind of rods you want to take with you. Not only that, line. Not every lure is going to use the same line. However, you can use one line or one style of line for everything. You just can't use fluorocarbon with topwater because it sinks. So that's the one line you don't want to use with topwater. But anything else, you can use it. I tend to crank with fluorocarbon. As far as on my performance stuff, I prefer to use a fluorocarbon just because it sinks and I can get better control out of that crankbait with it. But don't think twice, I won't throw monofilament on a crankbait, because I do. It just, whatever mood I'm in that day, I guess. But that's what I wanted to point out today, guys. I've been talking to some of you guys about this, and it's like, you know what, I should really do a video about this, because you really need to choose what you're going to throw before you choose what you're going to throw them on. Makes sense? So that's all I got today, guys. So hope this helps out. I really do. Hope it helps out, and looking forward to hearing from some of you guys as far as what you've been doing with it. So until next time, may the Father bless you and keep in Yeshua's name. And as always, fish on.